Hi, welcome back to the Sorta podcast with Aaron, Aldo, and Jay. This is our very special Halloween episode, so sit back, relax, and prepare for the chills.
Prepare for the chills. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Bro, that gave me a chill. Damn.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
Son, we're on this side and I was already getting ear rape, bro. That's not okay.
That's how it be like. So we're gonna be talking about some pretty spoopy things today, especially keeping the spirit of the Halloween. I don't know who wants to take it over, or do you like? First, we're gonna talk about paranormal activity stuff. Like paranormal stories, spooky stories, anything that relates to like a time where you have felt something or have seen something that you can't explain.
I feel like you're jumping the gun, right? I think first we'd have to establish the baseline with the belief, right, in the paranormal.
I mean, yeah, okay, I guess I thought it was pretty conclusive, but maybe you're right. Maybe I believe in ghosts. Do you guys believe in ghosts?
The only thing that's dead is my will to live and my DMs. So if it's anything that I want to talk
but
about,
they're real, so you believe in
that's one thing you believe in. Okay.
What about you all? Do you believe in the paranormal?
It's paranormal's a very broad spectrum, right?
Ghosts.
Ghosts specifically,
yes.
Not really, no.
So you
really have a non-believer on the podcast.
No, I just I don't know, man. I feel like if ghosts were real, they'd probably be like a lot more common than whatever it is right now. Because I mean, too many people die in like very like horrific ways, so there would have to be like very, very common to find a ghost.
You want to know what's crazy? If ghosts existed, wouldn't they be blind?
What?
Yeah.
Explain your logic.
Yeah, because like the way light deflects off of our eyes, that's the only way we're able to see, right? Because the light from any fixtures or like the sun, like passes through our eyes, and then there's like some.
You're trying to logic ghosts.
Yeah, but they would be blind. So how would they see?
You always hear the banging and the knocking. That's just them bumping into walls.
Bro, you're trying to logic a ghost though. Like if for a ghost to exist, right, then we would already have to throw all like logic aside, because we can't even like look like for there to be a being that is living without a body, then that means they don't need the body, so they wouldn't need an eye, right?
I think before we get to that point, I think we need to discuss what exactly do we think a ghost is, because depending on what your definition of a ghost.
I was gonna bring this up. Aldo, aren't you like Mexican? Doesn't Mexicans celebrate like the Day of the Dead and stuff? Don't they believe in spirits?
Yeah, but just because I'm Mexican doesn't mean I have to believe in the Day of the Dead and believe in all that.
Racism.
Maybe. But no, like explain that. Like,
man watches Coco one time and thinks he knows my entire family history.
Disney has taught me so much about your culture.
Well,
if you're gonna say it like that, then I'm black. I have to run away from ghosts. You see how the movies are. I mean, we still die first, but like,
which is some bullshit.
Just we run away from them. How are we still the first people that die? We need more representations for plot armor in horror movies.
Plot armor. But do you have any like historical context or just like context in general for the Day of the Dead?
What do you mean by that?
Like, what can you tell the folks at home about the Day of the Dead?
I mean, I don't know much about it. But I mean, I guess I can talk about my experience with it. There was a couple times here in New York that I celebrated. I think maybe like 3 or 4 times. There's this cemetery at a church in downtown New York that they would do this like annual like Day of the Dead thing. It the whole Day of the Dead thing. It's actually celebrated like more than one day. It's like one day is for like kids who died, and then like another one is for like the adults. And there's like a bunch of traditions that go along with it. One of my favorite ones is they're like these like poems that you write that sort of like I don't know if you guys know, but like death in of itself is seen as like a like actual figure, kind of like the way the Grim Reaper is seen, but rather than being seen as like this dark figure, it's like seen like a humorous side. So these poems will talk about a person and say that death is coming for them, but they'll like do like a humorous take on it. Like some like they'll say like, oh, like, you know, so like, for example, me, right? You know, like I'm a heavier set person, so like the poem might go something along the lines of like, oh, like I try to get away to death from death, but because I ate too many sandwiches, I couldn't get away, or something like that.
Crazy.
Yeah, it'd be like a little like humorous poem like that, and then it would.
Humorous. They roast your asses at the death.
I mean, yeah, that's the point though. It's part of the whole tradition. There's like candy skulls and other like foods that are made around that time as offerings for the dead. You would see them like on like either the grave themselves, or sometimes they'll make like a memorial altar. Sometimes they'll have the picture of the person, and there's like specific flowers that grow around that time that they'll use. And another thing that is eaten a lot around that time, quesadilla, tortilla, cheese. A next ingredient put into it is the flower of a pumpkin.
Why?
No, I don't, it's just like something that grows around the time. Pumpkins are like grown around this time, and that's actually a part of the tradition. Those are the ones off the top of my head. It's been a while since I've like actually done it. Last time I was in Mexico, I was there during the Day of the Dead, and yeah, like there was I went to like this school, and like as part of their project, they had to like make an entire altar, and you know like it was like an entire like I guess like about like a mile walk with like it was just a bunch of altars, and some of them were like for like their family members, some of them were like for famous figures. For like any Hispanic people out there, Chespirito, he's the one that created El Chavo, Chapulín Colorado, all those like famous, you know, Mexican characters. I guess.
Yeah, I know.
Mhm.
I used to
Yeah.
watch it, Child Little Chill growing up.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice. That was a nice little thing. Wow.
It's really beautiful.
Yeah, you sound choked up over there.
No.
Well, you know, now that we kind of established what the paranormal is and everybody's personal belief and what they think a spirit is, I want to pass it over to Shannon because Shannon didn't really get to say her two-piece. So, you know, just so people know your views on it, go hit him with that. Get ready to be here for like an hour.
Shut up. Personally, I do.
Stop. Good, Pablo.
No, I do believe in the paranormal. I when I think of ghosts, I don't really think of them in the way that like, you know, horror movies or like
Shaggy and Scooby Doo.
like not like that. Like I don't think it's like an actual figure. I think it's like more of like an energy. I feel like people's
Vibe.
A vibe, essentially.
A vibe.
I'm sending spooky vibes.
Because it's like, you know, energy never dies, right? It just gets transformed or it goes someplace else. So I do believe like the energy of like people who are past, you know, either stay here, and a lot of times maybe that energy might manifest into like maybe in something that we can like conceptualize as like maybe like a person or whatever. But I don't really think a ghost is like an actual person. Like I don't think like when I die I'm gonna be like walking around on like Earth and shit like that. I think maybe like my energy might still be here, but I don't think there's no consciousness behind it.
Is any? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, ask your
I
question.
was gonna say because like it was probably gonna ask a question and stuff like that. Does anyone here believe in reincarnation?
I do.
You do?
Yes, I do.
I want to be a tree.
You already are a tree.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. Why wait?
You know, you're gonna start hitting you with like the meanest comebacks, and it's gonna be a problem.
Well, you know, now that we all kind of had, you know, our explanation of all this, story time, guys. Story times. I want whoever had a personal paranormal experience to kind of, if you want to, and if you feel like this is an appropriate time, Share your story.
Can I go first?
I got on Facebook and I turned on, like, I was looking through my messages, and like the last message I received was like from like 3 years ago. And I already knew it was a graveyard in there. I heard Boo scrolling down for like 2 hours. I saw a few bats rose up on the top too.
All right, go take it away, dude.
Because like I feel like personally, I'm like a beacon for like shit like this. I don't know. Maybe I'm schizophrenic. We have to explore that later. But
she takes her meds and the ghosts go away.
We all start fading away.
This podcast isn't a real thing. We're just a figment of her imagination.
She's in the hospital, actually. She's not even here.
What year is this?
Bro, but okay, so I've always felt like, and this is where like I'm not making fun of schizophrenia, you know, it's just like, you know, comedic relief or whatever. But the reason why I brought it up is because when I was a kid, and even till recently, I always felt like I could hear voices of like ghosts or whatever.
You and Randy Orton.
I was about to do the same thing. I hear voices.
But
Did she just get the joke?
It suddenly clicked.
It took a minute.
I got there. That's all that matters is I got there. But when I was a kid, my grandfather, he passed in the house. He had a heart attack, and we used to live in a 2-family house in Queens. And me and my parents lived on the top floor. My grandparents lived on the bottom floor. And are you about to yawn, you asshole?
No, I was looking intensely. Was it yawning?
I'm not gonna hold you. I was about to yawn. That's just because I'm tired, son.
But okay, let me just speed it up then. So my grandfather passed, and a few days later, I was like laying down. We used to live by Kennedy Airport. So my dad was picking up my mom from DR, and I was like a latchkey kid, so like I was always home by myself. So my dad went to go pick up my mom from the airport from DR. And I'm like laying down, and all of a sudden I just hear in my ears just like Shannon, just like whisper.
I'm sorry.
Bro, I'm not gonna hold you.
Battery low.
I'm not gonna hold you. That shit kind of wild. Like you passing away and coming back and just coming up to go.
I'm sorry. I couldn't. That was just okay, continue. I'm gonna try it.
Yeah.
But so I hear just like Shannon in my ear, but I didn't just hear it, like I felt it. Like imagine just like, you know, Aldo, if Jay like went up next to you and just like whispered in your ear, like you would feel like the breath and like the vibration.
Whispering.
I'm taking that as assault.
What?
That did not sound right.
That's your grandfather, though. How are you gonna take this? Nah,
I'm taking him as assault, not my grandfather.
But he's not whispering. It was your grandfather.
You didn't hear what he said?
Yeah, it was your grandfather whispering, right?
Jail.
Okay, whatever. So then I shot up but my rationale was I didn't think it was like a ghost or anything. I thought my parents came home. So I got up and I looked around the house. My parents still weren't home. So I was kind of like freaked out. I was like, what the fuck? But like I lay down and I'm just like, whatever. But I could feel somebody in the room with me. And until this day, I can't really explain what that feeling was. But in the next couple of days, my mom stays home from work. And my mom, she's in the kitchen. It's like Saturdays or like someday. It probably was a Saturday. I go up to my mom. I was just like, hey, whatever. My mom was just like, something weird happened to me last night. I was like, what happened? And she said, I got up last night and there's a man sitting in the chair in front of me. And I was like, what do you mean there was a man sitting in front of you? She was just like, he was just sitting there. And I couldn't move. And I was just like, and me, I was probably like 10 at the time. So I'm like freaking out. And because like my mom, she just looks like, I can't even explain it. Like she just looks like she's just like not there. Like she looks kind of, like as if she was like scared.
Did she feel like somebody was watching her?
I gotta feel.
I'm glad you got it.
No, I got the joke, but I didn't want to humor you any further. But so that's like my one of many ghost stories. I'm gonna take it off to you guys.
Oh, yo, okay, so like you talk about spirits and stuff like that. I don't know if I necessarily could like. I don't believe in spirits and things like that.
It's
Like-
really weird too because you've seen like
I see.
bodies and stuff. So if anyone would see ghosts, it would be you.
I see dead people. I don't see ghosts. That's what I see. All right, but like, yeah,
They're
have
called
yeah,
the elderly.
Jesus.
we call them dead bodies.
Dead man walking. Bro.
But like, you ever had like sleep paralysis?
Dead man, dead
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So you never had sleep paralysis?
It's the worst
You're
fucking
lucky.
thing
Damn,
ever.
That's a
you
fact.
you sleep good then.
Bro, I
Yeah.
don't sleep.
Oh,
That's why I don't sleep. Well, that's why. That
Doesn't sleep.
explains it. But
Yeah.
not the part. I think so. I don't necessarily believe in ghosts. Probably gonna come off like it's a contradiction. But like, if anyone has ever had like sleep paralysis, and you know how you're like sitting there or like you're
Mhm.
laying there and you can't move, but you see something.
You sweating profusely.
That's a fact. That's a
Yeah.
fact.
You're doing internal screamies.
What do you see?
Yeah. No, that's the thing.
Like
It's usually
demons and shit.
yeah, it's usually different from everyone. Like this is gonna sound weird. Like my friend saw like a rodent, like a weasel. That's what he sees because he has like this. His chair is like directly right in front of him. So he was telling me that he sees like a weasel sitting right there. I was like, that's a weird demon, man. But I usually see like there's like a figure. It's like a female figure and stuff
Oh,
like
was
that.
she trying to ask for your car insurance stuff?
The light skin would see some female figure.
Nah, it
Right.
kind of because it looked like the Grudge, just
Ew.
more ladylike and stuff like that. Wait, the
Damn, it's
Grudge
been
is
that
a
long
lady?
since they're trying to.
Was she attractive?
It's been
I
that
don't know,
long
I
since they're
couldn't
trying
tell
to contact you about your car warranty.
It'd be like that, and it's like all black, so I can't like get a great picture of how exactly it would look.
Have you ever like had sleep paralysis and like felt like you're gonna die?
Dude,
That
I be-
happened to me.
You know, I didn't have sleep paralysis, but I had like this dream that like there was like I had like headphones in and I was watching YouTube, and like you've seen like the movies where like they'll play a sound and it'll like kill the person because it like does like a specific wave.
Mm-hmm.
It's like in the dream the sound played and like it like I instantly realized what it was, and like I thought I was dead.
You woke up alive. You wake up dead.
You know, when I woke up, I was like, shit.
Mad disappointed and shit. Like, damn.
that shit is still asleep. Damn.
No, like for
So close.
yeah, no, for me, I had a dream that I was like on a boat and like a tidal wave like came, and then like I woke up and I had sleep paralysis. Like I was awake but I couldn't move, and on top of that, it felt I couldn't breathe. It felt like I was choking. So it was like the remnants of the dream was like leaking into like the me being awake, and I was just like choking. Like I was like I could not breathe.
You're
It was so-
claustrophobic though, aren't you?
a little bit, yeah.
Because I was just gonna say,
You're
because
afraid of
for
Santa
me,
Claus?
Shut up.
for me, I'm afraid of heights. So I used to have a nightmare, recurring nightmare growing up, where like I would just be infinitely falling,
Mm-hmm.
either through the sky or like other times like I would be falling into like an abyss, and all of a sudden I'd land on train tracks, and I would see like the lights of a train pulling up to me, and right before it,
was
hit
Oscar.
me, it would cut out. It would cut out, and then I'd be falling again, and it was terrifying.
I know that feeling. I have reoccurring nightmares of being trapped in an elevator that's like a broken down elevator that's catching on fire. It's real
Yeah, I
bad.
need
That's what I was
therapy.
gonna go into,
Yeah.
right? That like maybe if maybe the the sleep paralysis in part it's like a manifestation of like your fear of like
Crazy thing
being
is,
trapped in an enclosed space.
my
Probably.
common times with my sleep paralysis like kicks in and stuff like that. My cat's in the dream. Like it ends with my cat and me cradling it.
Your cat's
then-
your guardian.
That's a fact. And then I
Probably.
know, and
I
like
believe in that.
and in my head I can hear myself going, well shit, that's gonna happen, damn. And I'll wake up and I'm just sitting there motionless like, oh god damn.
You ever had like dreams of your pet dying?
Twice actually.
Bro,
I was devastated. I woke up crying.
Yeah,
like I woke
That
up
shit
crying,
sucks,
man. I
bro.
hate it. But
I
my
have-
cats are young, so I have them for a good time.
Nah, I'm waiting for mines too.
Wait, for your dog? What?
Yeah, I'm waiting for my dogs to. No, man.
I'm like, no.
Got too
No.
many. No, I want to tell my experience. I have actually several experiences with the paranormal that's actually pretty fucking freaky. That to this day I won't be able to like. I've never been able to explain. So, I was in DR and I was
course.
in the Campo area.
Of course.
Campo is like the countryside of DR,
It's basically just
And-
like a
rural areas and
Rural.
shit. So I remember I woke up one night because I was like sweating bullets, and I see the fan that was in front of our bed slide across the floor from one end of the room to the other. And I know that nobody was awake because I was hearing everybody snoring.
Yo, do ghosts speak Spanish?
Que lo que, buddy?
That was one of the weird occurrences that I remember having. The other weird occurrence that I remember having is that I had a dream of my aunt's boyfriend at the time before I even knew how he looked or who he was. And when I saw him, he was wearing the same exact clothing that I had of in my dream. Then I talked to her about it, and then she was like, "Yeah, that happens a lot. He has like this weird demon over him that like people just have bad dreams about him and bad nightmares and stuff." And it was just such a freaky occurrence that again to this day I would never know. Like literally the exact outfits from like the golden chain placements to like the hat and everything. Same color, same detail, same everything.
That's like, I'm like the very like spiritual person in the group, and it's like there's like a reason like when you have like dreams about certain people. Like for example, I have like dreams about dead relatives like a lot, and even some dead relatives that I weren't like particularly close with. Like what you were talking about your aunt's boyfriend reminded me of. I had like a dream not too long ago of like my mom's cousin who passed a couple years ago, and like I'm gonna sound like a crazy person, but, like I don't care. Like sometimes, like in
That's a
these
good way to set a precedent for the story. You sound like a crazy person, but I don't care.
like because it happened. Like however people perceive it, I can't change how people are gonna view it, but. I would have dreams of like dead family members, like either like giving me advice or like telling me things that are gonna happen, and they happen, and I swear to God, and I can't fucking explain it, or just like dead family members or just like dead people in general. Like sometimes I would like have like a feeling of like something bad's gonna happen to somebody like in these dreams, and like something weird would happen to that person. And I do think dreams are like kind of like links to like the spiritual world and the paranormal.
A lot of like tales tend to come especially from Hispanics, like DR, like they had like witches and stuff and all that. So I
Mm-hmm.
remember my mom used to tell me this story about how they like a witch tried to like kidnap me and my other cousin at the time. We were like babies, and I don't know, something had happened where like the whole neighborhood like found out that there was a witch amongst them, and the witch was like jumping between roofs and stealing babies and taking babies from their cradles because apparently like witches are like very fond of like baby blood or like baby kidneys or some shit like that.
Before we like move into for further into your story, like I do want to preface that there's different types of witches depending on like the religion and stuff like that. So you know,
Yeah, no,
Aaron
this
is
is
not
just
generalizing.
yeah, no, this is just what like a story I remember like hearing from my family because again, DR Dominicans, they all have like their witch tales. You'll hear them all.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever been in a Hispanic family, you'll ask your aunts and uncles. You'll definitely like find
Or your
all
grandparents.
your grandparents. You'll definitely hear a story. But yeah, so she was hopping between the roofs and she tried to take me and my my cousin at the time. We were babies, and she got on our roof, right? But before the event took place, my grandmother apparently blessed the ceiling with like holy water, and when the witch got on our roofs, apparently it burned her, and she just started screeching and howling, and she ran into a neighbor's like bathroom and like threw up black blood, and like the whole neighborhood was trying to converge. It was like 3 to 5 o'clock in the morning. They converged to try to like see what the fuck was going on, and they never found the body of the person who ran in there. The only thing that came out was like a cat.
Real.
The time between 3 and 4 is called the witching hour, so I'm not actually surprised.
Yeah, no, I have a lot of these weird ass little stories. I think another like weird ass story that I have is like there was a poltergeist in my grandmother's house, and all the like pictures and like photos we had started moving around, and my mom and her grandmother apparently like exercising the house or some shit. It was some weird ass shit. I've had a lot of occurrences of weird like paranormal. It's like littered throughout my family history, not even from my mom's side, but just also my dad's side. We all used to joke about, like, I remember there was a story about how one of my cousins' house was like haunted. Like, I remember one of my cousins slept over, and then like she went to go use the bathroom, and she woke up and she saw a mask floating and just like moving across the fucking room. Like a mask, like literally. It was like 5 o'clock in the morning. I was like, what the fuck? Like imagine waking up having to pee and seeing some shit like that.
I think that's just like the thing about being Dominican, because being Dominican, you will hear a lot of stories like that. Like my grandma, like she like there's certain shit that she won't do or say or be around because like she is so in tune with that kind of stuff. And you know, like DR, like and I'm not like generalizing here, I'm not, so nobody watching this, please don't get offended. But, DR and Haiti are so close together, and both Haiti and DR and a lot of their folklore and a lot of their history, there's a lot of voodoo involved. So it's just like I'm not surprised, that entire island would have like stories, both Haiti and DR would have like stories about all this paranormal shit. Because if you look at our carnival, a lot of it, is based on the paranormal.
Yeah. It's just weird that like you always see those weird ass occurrences. I think it was in DR that I had the weirdest nightmares. I saw like I was like maybe like 9, and I had a dream about the four horsemen, like death. That was way before I learned the concept of death. Like I remember there was a person in all white with a white veil and a white horse walking down the street, and people were just dying around him. It was the weirdest fucking thing. As like especially as a 9-year, I've never heard of like at the time I didn't know what death was. I didn't know the four horsemen or.
Son, right before my sister was born, I had a dream of her like walking towards me with no skin on. Like all it was like the exposed muscle and like blood. She was leaving like a trail of bloody footprints, and she was asking for a hug. It was the scariest thing I ever saw.
Love me. But yeah, no, like I could sit here and just go on hours. I'm pretty sure any Dominican can sit up here for hours and go to like recount their weird ass stories that they've either experienced themselves or like heard through like a family member or some shit. Like a lot of it's just witches and voodoo and like the paranormal and straight up demon shit.
Next episode, we need to get our grandparents on the podcast.
Yeah, I'll resurrect my grandparents from the dead, and I'll ask them like, "Hey, tell the story you once told us."
The stories I have, I mean, I'm not going into like paranormal. They're more, I guess, like humorous, I guess, to a degree.
Talking to the mic a little bit more. I'm sorry.
All right. But yeah, as I was saying, like the stories I have aren't as much paranormal. They're kind of like within the same realm, but they're not like as since I'm not really with that sort of mentality. So the first one, right? It goes back to around the time when my dad was a child. He grew up in a family of like 14.
Damn.
And there was this one.
You ever said anything for like the past 10 minutes? That's the first thing that comes at you. Damn.
There was this one time, and there were kids where, well, before that, I'm gonna give the context that my family loves like practical jokes. They love pranking, and so when they were kids, there was this big bridge with a river running underneath it that was right outside my like grandparents' house. So this one night they decided to scare people going by putting this like sack on one of my uncles to like make him look like a ghost. Now this is in like a more rural town, so like you had people with like actual guns on them. So within within this specific day, one of the people passing by was a dude with like a revolver. So they went about it. They scared they scared him. He pulls out his gun and he's like, "I'm gonna shoot you kids." My uncle, out of pure fear, runs across the bridge and just throws himself into the water. The dude is mortified because he thinks it was an actual ghost. Because who in their right mind just dives headfirst into the river? This man goes like Jesucristo, like puts himself with the sign of the cross and just dips. And like all of my uncles and aunts, my dad, they're all mortified. They think that my uncle died. Everything turned out all right. They pulled him out of the river. You know, they took all the things. Awesome time.
One of your family, this is going to be one great story to tell.
Bro, they tell it all the time. It is like one of like their greatest
Jesus.
stories. Other than that, it's the, I guess the only thing that I would say was like in any way sort of like paranormal was I guess it's more like religious. I remember there's one time my parents, it was like during the daytime. My dad was at work, and like we were missing, I think it was like a binky or something for one of my siblings. They were just nonstop crying, and we couldn't find it anywhere. I went into the room, like got on my knees and prayed against the bed and closed my eyes dummy hard. I got a literal vision of exactly where the binky was. And I went and it was in that exact spot.
Speaking about that, my apparently I have people in my family that have premonitions like that. Like they could see shit.
I have deja vu a lot.
Yeah.
Dude, I hate that.
Bro.
Where like an event happens, but it never did. And then as time goes on, that one event actually happens. I hate it because it's usually always bad.
For me, it normally happens in my dreams. Like I'll dream of a scenario that happened but like it happened to me recently. When I'm like 2 days ago, like it was like I just jumped off the party. I opened up my phone and was like scrolling through TikTok, and like the videos I saw were like, I remembered like it was the exact order, the exact same content in a dream. And then I looked around my room and it was the same like format with stuff that I didn't have a couple days ago. It was just like it took me aback so hard that I literally like stumbled I literally fell back into the chair in my room, and I was just like out of it for like a good like 5 minutes.
I think one of the scariest things you can find yourself in, like one of the scariest like things that happen, it's like, this is me personally, when you look inside of a mirror and you turn your head and your image is still staring back at you.
That's cool. That's cool.
How's that cool?
I'm
Right?
like back and be
That
like, yo, say
happens to you?
something. Like, say something.
No.
Okay, let's unpack that a little bit. Has it actually happened to you?
No, but I've known somebody who said, like, I think it was one of my cousins or one of my family members said that they looked inside of a mirror, they turned it around, and the thing was still staring.
Were they
back
high
at
when
them.
they?
Or like maybe they were half asleep?
How would he know? He turned his head.
Because it wasn't them it wasn't the person who turned his head that said
They were on
it.
a prank show, bro.
No, they were like, it was like somebody else. Like it was like two of my cousins having
Oh.
a sleepover type of shit, and then she like the other cousin like noticed it and like they freaked the fuck out.
He one of those people that look himself in the mirror and be like, what you looking at?
I feel like humans are a lot
Go
more.
about your business.
Humans are so much more sensitive than I think people give like credit for, because like there's a lot of things that you can't explain. Like I believe that people have like premonitions, and I do believe people like are like more sensitive to like the spirits and like dead people and stuff like that. I do think that's a thing, and because like those are things that you can't really test for. So you're kind of like walking by faith at that point. But
Imagine a test.
This is gonna be on the quiz, guys.
So what did Aaron say about his cousin looking in the mirror?
No, I thought more along the lines of like you got to practice your premonitions, bro. You got to like think really hard.
Yeah,
That's
but
insane.
like as a kid, especially children, like I wholeheartedly believe that like children are like
Dogs.
sensitive to that, and dogs too, and cats are sensitive. to that kind of
those
stuff.
Horses.
things were
Horses.
like a child will like tell their parent about like a distant relative that died way before they were born.
I was that kid. I was that kid. When I was a kid, I swear on my life, I used to feel when people were like coming in, like I knew every single time when somebody was coming to my room and exactly who it was every single time. And like you wouldn't even hear it because the way that it was a new house, so it wasn't really like that creaky. We had like really good hardwood floors. But like I always used to feel something like in my chest or in my body where it's just like my mom is gonna walk into the room in a couple of minutes.
I could-
What if
and then
that's
she would
just
walk.
gas?
I could fully expect her like
Bad
in like
heartburn.
an office chair, just slowly turn around and like, yes, mother, I was expecting you.
Please have a seat. Like what? What?
No, but it happened every time, and then like even like people who I would just like know, like even people who I didn't know were coming to the house that day. I would just like feel like, oh, like my uncle Gregory, he's like gonna come into my room in a few seconds. I would just know for some reason every single time. I can't do
Woman's
that anymore.
intuition.
That's not something that happens to me anymore. But as a kid, yeah. Children are so sensitive, and dogs are sensitive. Cats, horses.
I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. If a kid comes up to me talking about, I'm playing with my imaginary friend. Oh, I'm playing with my friend, because they wouldn't even know the word imaginary. It's like, hey, come meet my friend. And they come in the room and you don't see no one there, but you see a teddy bear just like, flipping around like, nah. Nah. You're doing the most.
Get your ass out of here.
They wouldn't hear like you pay rent. Hold up. That's the crazy thing. You got ghosts in your house and they don't pay rent. Like that's the audacity.
That's
'Cause,
the easiest way to exercise your house. Tell them you gotta pay rent.
yo, rent's due. Oh, no, shit.
I mean, if you complain to the landlord, maybe he'll drop it a little bit.
like, yo, dude, this is guy living rent free in my house. What are we gonna do about it? Like, yo, we
Okay.
could call him a U-Haul if you want.
I'm crying.
Ghost U-Haul.
It's just like it's like being
Yeah.
tugged by a hearse.
Yeah, and you hear it like just.
Speaking about like what goes bump in the night and all that shit, I want to know right now. What's your favorite mythological creatures? Anybody can take that. Or do y'all want me to go first?
You can go first.
Mothman, instantaneously. I'm obsessed with the lore.
Would that be a
obsessed.
mythological creature, or would that be
Urban-
like urban legend?
Sorry, our cameraman just said yawning means ghost blowjob. Damn, then we were doing that the whole time. but no, like mythological creatures, cryptids, whatever you want to call them.
You know what movie scared?
Mothman,
you know
dude,
what
Mothman's my
movie
favorite.
scared the shit out of me growing up, and honestly, till this day, probably still do. Y'all seen 13 Ghosts?
I love that movie.
Dude, it's
so
a good
much.
movie, but that shit scared the shit out of me.
Chucky was terrifying growing up.
That used to get me tight. I hate that movie so much.
Oh, hold on, we're jumping the gun because I want to talk about that later. But like your favorite
Urban
Halloween
legend.
stuff, your favorite kind of Halloween movies. But I just wanted to know, like, does anybody here aside from me have like a favorite cryptid or urban legend type of creature thing? I fuck with the Mothman hard body. Love it. Love the whole story. Am I a firm believer of the Mothman? You know, the part of me that wants Earth to be fun. Yeah, why not? A giant fucking moth.
Yo, if the Mothman scares you, like y'all don't have a flashlight or something,
Just
get a light.
raid.
or like
Anybody
get,
else?
get a
Anybody
big
else?
light.
Bro, I mean, I fucks with the Thunderbird, bro.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's like that's just fire, bro. Like just thinking about that, like a bird that can literally command thunderstorm.
Talking
That's
to the mic a little bit more,
that's
or at least
fire.
like put like the
I
mic
think,
more
Wait,
you
towards
know,
is
the
you.
it
funny
that
thing
like-
is that I
is it
think
that-
that's what Zapdos from Pokemon is based off of the Thunderbird.
Wait, isn't that like a? I remember we talking about this like so long ago. Is that like like a thing like in Mexico or something like that? Like
It's
a
like
bird?
native. It was like a Native American like folk tale.
Oh,
It was like it was like around like Washington, and I also seen like around Canada. That's it's
Oh.
around that area.
that sounds
That's
cool.
dope.
Sounds like
about-
Chief Tomahawk.
That was racist.
Well, that's racist, but he just named a bird. I'm
How is
serious.
that racist?
Yeah,
I'm
'cause
just-
He's
I'm just-
Mexican.
I'm
Yeah, but
making fun
that
of Jay.
folklore wasn't a Mexican thing. That was a Native American thing. I just added on.
There's
to it.
There's indigenous people in
technically,
Mexico.
yeah, technically, the indigenous people of Mexico are also considered Native Americans.
Yeah.
They consider North and like any indigenous
A
people
lot
of
of them
North
used
and
to be in
South America.
Texas, and then we got kicked out during the Alamo. I think was it the Alamo or was it the Mexican? No, it was the. Why do I keep saying the Alamo? The Mexican American War.
I mean, my thing still stands. Chief Tomahawk. Like every time you say his name, a tomahawk is thrown at a random person, like out of nowhere.
So how many people are you killing right now? Just
You
like
sure he's just not playing
I
Call of
couldn't-
Duty?
Probably Tomahawk's
Oh,
got
what
heavy
about
sense.
cross
Oh,
map snipes with the
yeah.
What
tomahawk?
about you, Shannon? You got any cryptids or some shit that you fuck with?
Ironically, like no, you would think I would be the type of person that would like be into like urban legends and shit like that, but not off the top of my head. Like I like urban legends about like haunted places, but not specifically specific entities or like the Mothman or like the Yeti or some shit like that.
Man, you boring.
I like haunted places.
I love haunted places.
What about
she'd make fun of us for talking about that, but like she's got like the whole witch vibe, bro.
I'm not a witch.
they pronounce wicked.
I'm not a wicked either.
She be summoning them, so I don't blame her.
She's literally a witch, bro.
Do you have a cryptid that you fuck with?
She'd be like, go handle that right now.
Do you have a cryptid that you fuck with?
Nah, not really. I mean, don't get me wrong. The stories are cool.
Chupacabra, none of that shit.
I'm too much into science because at one point it's like, okay, can the chupacabra exist? I couldn't even pronounce that name right. Can it exist? Possibly. And then they're like, no, it's not it. It's probably something with just
a dog
fangs.
with mange.
Yeah, like a dog with like some weird looking fangs, or it was like mutated or something like that.
I'm just saying.
I like that.
Yeah, boring.
I like the look. Haunted houses are cool. I love haunted houses.
Yeah.
Like, cause again, I don't believe in spirits, but like visiting like abandoned buildings and stuff like that. That's cool.
Well, okay. To go back to your question, I think the one thing maybe that like piques my I don't go do research about it, but when people talk about it, like it piques my interest is like the Wendigo. Stuff like that.
Oh, dude, man, I could go on and on about the Wendigo. Holy shit, I know
that,
so, bro.
Yeah.
God bless Fallout 76. That's all I gotta say. For the haters out there, hold my schmeat. Man, the Wendigo is supposed to be like this cryptid that's like it represents what the Native Americans valued against, which was like greed and just constantly wanting something, constantly consuming or some shit like that.
Yeah, it basically just punished anyone that was really greedy.
Yeah, a person can turn into a Wendigo, and because he turns into a Wendigo, he has like winter powers, or he can
reminds me
like
like the Midas touch.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was like some crazy shit, like, and they're like skin like hairless. They're like they're whatever they eat, they like their body like turns into whatever they eat, so they're always starving. No matter what they eat, they're things, they're never gonna be satiated. And I think the way to kill them was like silver and something else. But yeah, bro, I can go on and on about Wendigos.
But we don't got the time. So I think this is a really good transition. Maybe like for like 5 minutes we can talk about like horror movies, and then we have a special treat at the end.
Horror movies are whack.
You're whack.
Nah,
you don't got like a favorite Halloween movie?
Bro, horror movies are whack, bro.
They don't gotta be a horror movie.
Like a Halloween. You don't like Monster House?
Them shit, it's whack. Halloween movies in general are whack. Halloween on
Hold on. What was that one with Sarah J?
Bro.
Like the I forgot the name. I just had it in my head. The three witches, the Solomon sisters.
Talking about Hocus Pocus.
Hocus Pocus, dude. Fucking
Boring.
Amazing movie.
Casper? You didn't like Casper?
Bro, of course, I'm not gonna win this argument with a cinephile, and then the person who embodies Halloween, like
that's crazy.
I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. The horror movies nowadays they're boring.
Yeah, nowadays horror movies are
it's always been boring.
Yeah, but like even then, the ones in the past are not that good either.
You just think they're good because of nostalgia.
As a horror movie aficionado who has made
all right, I fuck with the Ghostbusters.
All right, fine, Ghostbusters. I think everyone fucks with the Ghostbusters.
That's a horror movie?
No, it's
a Halloween movie. It doesn't have to be a horror. Halloween doesn't always,
But yes, as a horror movie aficionado, I have created a bunch of like comprehensive lists of like the greatest horror movies by subgenre. And I will say, nowadays, horror movies are absolute trash. The Conjuring 3 was a god-awful movie. But I would say my favorite Halloween movie of all time would have to be Halloween with Michael Myers. The new one is trash too, by the way.
Thank you. I was going to go watch it. Actually, I'm probably still going to go watch it.
Go watch. You can watch it. It's just absolute ass.
Okay, I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna just cut some slack on Halloween movies, right? If you want a good horror movie, Blair Witch Project.
Nightmare of
the one in the 90s. There's nothing wrong with
the boring, bro.
Nightmare on Elm Street with Johnny Depp.
Nightmare on Elm Street is always gonna be really, really good.
Chucky.
Chucky is such.
Andrea.
Chucky is such ass, bro.
Ring?
Like, you can punt that little nigga across the room. Like, there was no reason for him to cause as much mass terror.
You're about the
Right.
size of Chucky. He would literally kill you.
Shut up. You see? And you know, relating back to the first episode, you want to know why I'm always so physically abusive to this man?
Damn.
It's because he says shit like this.
I don't even be doing stuff like that often.
Dude, screw you.
It was just a really good setup.
Nah, the Chucky series, or like, think of it logically. He shouldn't be doing the stuff he's doing.
You know they're gonna do a crossover between Michael Myers and Chucky? Like, you know, like a Freddy versus Jason?
So Chucky, yeah, Michael Myers better smoke him. He better smoke him.
They're both immortal though.
They are both immortal as hell.
Technically, yeah.
But
He can't swim. But I'm pretty sure the Jason movies are canon. So
Jason Michael can't swim? Jason's the one who can't swim.
Jason can't swim because
Oh,
I
y'all
think
said
he's
Michael
the one
Myers.
that drives.
Yeah, Michael Myers.
He's the one that drowns.
oh,
Yeah.
Michael Myers is the one that walks really slow, but is always able to catch up to you.
he walks.
Jason is like that.
he
That's
walk-
so dumb. He can't swim, but this man always in the water, bro.
That's a fact. He
Jason, okay, but he drowned. Like that's like I don't know. It's just a weird
I
thing.
can't-
He has like PTSD again with water.
Yeah, 'cause they let him drown in a lake, Crystal Lake.
Yo, very last thing before we wrap up the candy thing, bro.
Yeah, we need to get to this candy. The sweet treat that we have in the end. Today we're gonna talk
Oh, I
about
thought.
Are we talking
the
about
best
candy?
and worst.
the best and worst
candy.
Halloween candy.
All right, hands down, ain't no one arguing with me. Candy corn, gotta go straight to jail. Straight to
Bro.
jail. Nasty. Don't even say anymore.
I guess we wrapping the episode up then.
I was gonna say, I can stand most like bad candy. I hate any grape flavored hard candy though.
They don't even taste like
Jolly
grape.
Rancher?
No,
They don't taste
Jolly-
like grape. Nope.
Anything that's grape flavored, gotta go.
that's me
Gotta
and
go.
watermelon. I don't like watermelon or green apple and watermelon. I don't
She
like.
gotta go.
She gotta go.
Blue raspberry is blues raspberry and cherry are the goated flavors. I don't
To
care.
jail.
You go to jail.
Maximum security.
No chance of parole.
Yo, throw it in with all the grape flavored candy, bro.
That's a fact. You can get out of jail once you eat a grape flavored candy. Until then, no. To
Grape
jail.
flavored candies are like not the best. Like grape, watermelon, green apple are just.
What are those things called? The
Tootsie Rolls suck too.
Yeah, I don't like
Yeah,
Tootsie
Tootsie
Bro,
Rolls.
I
Rolls are
just- I
nasty.
just fuck with normal chocolate or whatever the fuck is chocolate. I don't think I have preference for Halloween
Hershey's
candy.
gotta go. Hershey tastes like chocolate
Bro,
flavored
can we
vomit.
just throw her in a room?
She needs to go
Hershey's
to jail.
so-
with all the great
Yeah.
candy. all
Aaron,
the
you
candy
understand where
corn.
good chocolate comes from. You've had good chocolate before.
Yes.
Hershey tastes like vomit. You know, like that vomit that you have that kind of tastes like sour, like when it's like, stomach acid. That is what Hershey's
It's a good thing
aftertaste
because Hershey
tastes
don't
like.
want you either.
That same feeling I'm
Good,
getting
I
right
don't
now.
want
You
him.
talking about Hershey? That vomit feeling? Jail.
That is what Hershey's tastes like.
Hershey don't want you either.
Good.
Why you buying Hershey for then if you don't like Hershey?
It came in the pack. I
Nah,
can't
nah,
control
nah,
They
nah.
that.
have other chocolate varieties without Hershey. I don't want to hear it.
At the supermarket
Nah,
that I
nah,
went
she-
to, the one
she lying.
Did I just like cross over the supermarket in front by my house only had that variety, and I wasn't gonna look that hard. I just picked that shit up.
I don't know. I feel like a better question would be like, what shouldn't be considered a Halloween candy?
Candy corn.
Candy corn.
Why I hating so
This is
much?
Nasty.
disgusting.
Nasty.
Everything about candy corn is like blasphemous to like life.
I was forced to eat it as a child, and I was like, maybe my grandmother was sick. She's
Demented.
dead now.
Don't even go into it. This is gonna be a long.
What are the name? I don't know what the hell they're
Bro, so
called.
you're gonna tell me, hold up, if you gotta eat between black licorice or candy corn, what you choosing?
Give me black licorice.
Yeah.
You're
I'm sorry,
gross.
it's more tangible.
You're gross.
It's tangible.
No, it depends
I
on
would
where the black licorice
100%
comes from. Like if you get black licorice from like Australia, it's not
black,
bad.
bro. Black licorice is like eating like licorice with mouthwash.
It's
in
like
it. Like
it's like
just-
tastes like
not bad.
shoestrings.
It's like, bro, that shit is, bro. It tastes like black licorice tastes like a pharmacy smells. The fact that y'all laugh is like y'all know what that is. Like, you ever been into an actual
I
pharmacy?
deal with meds and some of the medication stinks.
You know what else got to be up there? Those like chalky candies.
Dude, Smarties are
Smarties
goated.
are
No, I'm not talking about
good.
Smarties. I'm talking about that tastes like
Oh, the
legitimately
Sweet Tart?
chalk. No,
No.
because those have some flavor to it.
Sweet
I'm
Tarts
talking about like
burn
the
in my
ones that
mouth.
have like no flavor to
Oh,
them
I
and
know
are just
exactly
straight
what
up
you're
chalk,
talking
like
about.
off-brand stuff.
I know what he's talking about. There, as a kid, they used to sell like a variety of something like that, but like as like little girls' makeup, like fake
Are y'all
makeup.
just eating like straight chalk?
Oh shit.
y'all just throwing anything in y'all mouths as a kid.
Straight,
You ain't taste like
street
chalk.
But what Aldo's saying is valid. There is a candy like that.
Crayola's like Crayola fucking street chalk, bro.
It tastes like chalk because it is chalk.
Bro, it's like about the same like the cigarettes we were talking about before, the chalk cigarettes. It's similar to that has no flavor,
That's
Mhm.
what
and
it
it's
is.
just like straight. Literally, you're just eating chalk.
Baby Ruth can go to hell.
Oh, whoa, chill there, sis. Hold up. Wait a minute.
Because the chocolate is not that good.
Sugar babies.
Sugar babies can also get
Sugar
the fuck
babies,
out of here.
yeah, they get stuck in my teeth.
Milky Way.
Yeah,
is
hold on,
disgusting.
whoa. Yeah, talk about sugar daddies, like
No,
the
sugar-
fairy?
Sugar
the-
babies.
They did have a variant for
Oh.
sugar berries. They were made by the same company.
I don't know. I don't know if the same thing, bro. I just
Bro,
remember
sugar daddies, the caramel popsicle sticks. That shit's
Th-
is
nah,
fire,
those are
bro.
trash.
That shit gives me heartburn.
Nah. What the
Nah,
fuck
those
is
are
wrong
ass.
with y'all,
There's these things called Yankee peanuts.
bro? Y'all, I don't want
Yankee
to, bro.
peanuts?
Y'all the
Something
type
like
to
that.
You talking
y'all.
about like the circus peanuts? The like orange things?
Yeah,
Those are disgusting.
Nasty.
Styrofoam.
Bro,
Gotta
y'all
go.
all right, but like, hold up. Like sugar daddy, y'all crazy.
Y'all
Sugar
nasty.
daddies. With the
No matter what you
greatest
say,
thing.
it's not gonna change your opinion on that the fact
Yeah.
that it's ass. So
That's-
just leave it at that.
Three
Just
gets
leave it
Bro,
at
away.
that.
I don't want to
Bro,
hear, bro.
If
Y'all
you like
wildin'.
it, bro, if you like it,
All power
fine.
to you.
Go ahead. Eat your sugar babies in the corner by yourself. And no
Nah.
one else wants that.
Nah, I'm blocking him.
Yeah.
Bro, nah, y'all fucking wildin'.
It's
I'm not gonna
gross.
hold you. Nah,
Milky
y'all
Way
fucking
is
wildin'.
disgusting.
Y'all fucking
Nah,
wildin'.
she
Milky Way is a
wildin'. She
wannabe
wildin'.
Snickers.
Look at
It's mad. It's like it's like chocolate flavored air. Like,
jail.
you go to jail.
Y'all
She just don't like
wildin',
nothing,
y'all
bro.
Yeah,
Throw
that's
it in the
like,
corner.
actually, hold on. What candy do you like? Because we
I
can't.
like Kit
Bro,
Kat.
nah. Fuck out of it. After hear all of y'all just shit on Sugar Daddy,
Oh.
I'm more than positive y'all the same type of people to like take a quarter and get them stale ass bubble gums from the fucking vending machine.
No, those are
That be in front of the
nasty
barbershop. Fuck out of here.
tastes better than them sugar
Nah,
daddies.
Ew,
nah.
the candy that I do like,
wildin'.
I'm more of like a gummy type of person, so I like gummy bears and like gummy worms.
Y'all probably
Boring.
eat
some gummy
Y'all probably
bears.
eat nah. Y'all probably eat kale in a bowl too. Fuck out of here.
Aaron, shut up. I love
Nah.
I really like I like Kit Kats and
You a geriatric patient, aren't you? Like
I just said I eat gummy candy. Geriatric people
How y'all
can't eat
feel
gummy
about
candy.
Butterfingers?
Butterfingers.
I have a love-hate relationship for them.
I'm not.
If you so y'all gonna eat Butterfingers, right? You will put a whole Butterfinger in your mouth, but you won't eat Sugar Daddies.
No, we won't.
Man's
oh my
pressed.
God.
Y'all is mad. Like y'all the weirdest group of people I've ever
Y'all
seen
gonna
on
hate
this
me for
fucking.
this one. You're gonna
Son,
can't.
eating like a Butterfinger is like snapping a fucking twig in your mouth with some chocolate and be like, yeah, this is candy. This is good. Y'all like to taste the bark in y'all fucking mouth.
Hell yeah.
Nah, fuck. I'm really
Y'all
about to smack fire out y'all nasty motherfuckers.
Wait, what did you want to say?
Y'all are gonna cancel me for this. I don't like
Fucking-
Reese's.
Okay.
Fucking out
Because
here.
everyone loves
It's not
Reese's.
surprising. You
I'm
don't
a-
like any good candy.
I'm
So
gonna say okay, and I'm never coming to the next episode. That's where I draw the line.
I don't like chocolate and peanut butter together.
How
Like
do you-
I like them separate. I don't know what it is. The combination just like puts me off.
But you would stick pretzel and peanut butter and chocolate. Fuck out of you.
What?
That's a thing. You do that?
No.
Oh, I'm about to say. I
Nah,
think I know
nah,
What
nah.
is your frame of reference for that?
Bro, you look like it.
you
you
do
look
look like
like
the
the
type of
type.
person that eats chocolate covered
Bro,
pretzels.
you look like the type
Not
of
really.
person that gets like peanut butter and eat it on a spoon.
I don't. I like almond butter.
All right, hold on.
I
What
crunchy.
kind
if it's crunchy peanut butter,
Crunchy
then,
peanut butter. Yeah,
We've
you
already
also-
established
not
it.
going into this.
We
Y'all
already
already got me-
established
Y'all
it.
already got me heated with the whole entire Butterfinger shit.
If I ain't got nuts in my mouth,
Kiss
I'm
my
lying.
ass. Kiss my fucking ass for
Gotta wrap
saying
this
that
up.
blasphemy
Gotta-
shit. I've never, bro. If you hate on sugar daddies, catch me outside.
You
Almond Joy-
dress like a sugar daddy. What are you talking
Almond
about?
Joys are goated. Like they're on top of sugar
Almond
daddies.
Joys
Fuck.
is not bad.
Oh,
Yo,
Almond
right here,
Joys?
right here, bro. This-
Hell yeah, them shits are good. I don't like coconut. They
Shit
make my
fire,
stomach
bro.
hurt. Right?
Yeah, y'all like pencil shaving
Yeah.
coconut flavors
I
in your
like,
mouth.
That shit tastes good.
Ew. You eat York peppermint patty
You just
too.
ate one earlier. You said that they
I
were
love
fire.
York peppermint patties. They're so good.
Yeah, you like eating chocolate with your fucking toothpaste? Fuck out of here.
Yeah,
you nasty
yo,
ass.
do you eat like Oreos and like the mint Oreos and stuff like that?
Not really. I like I like Oreos, but they're not like the first cookie.
Fuck
I
out
eat.
of here. If you eat York peppermint patty, you definitely be putting like a spoon of Nutella with your mouth wash in your mouth.
She doesn't have a good taste in candy, bro.
You too. Fuck out of here. All of y'all. Yo. Oh my god.
You cannot talk shit about almond joys when you literally just said that almond joys were good. Fuck out of here.
When did I say almond joys?
When we were outside.
I've literally never said that.
Before we was filming, you was fucking up shit. Oh,
that's not true. That's not true.
Wrap it up.
He's such a liar.
I was eating
Yo, throw me a
Reese's
Kit Kat.
Pieces.
Someone make themselves useful.
Geriatric ass bitch, bro.
I eat Kit Kats because it melted my mouth.
Air, you can't be saying that with the way you dress with that paperboy ass fucking hat.
Bro, I'm a
Early bird special,
1940.
that ass.
I'm a 1940 private detective. Beat it, Toots. The streets ain't the same.
extra looking head ass boy.
And what you dress as?
You're more like a Fallout character who just happened
And
to pick
hold
it
on,
up
and
along
what you
the
dress
way.
as?
Dude, like
You
not
look
even
like
a
you
good,
look like the dad
he's a
that goes to
freaking
get milk and
NCP,
never
bro.
come back. Fuck out of here.
I wasn't planning on to.
And what you look like?
What you mean? What do I look like?
You look like you came to cosplay super bad. The fat dude,
What the fuck?
What?
Jonah Hill. Is that his name?
He's a good actor.
Don't you dare talk about my baby
Jonah
like that.
Hill has come a long way. I'm proud of him.
Dare talk about him like that. I will jump
He
across
the
this
before
room.
picture.
All right, y'all need to wrap this shit up.
Stay perfectly perfect.
This is why
And
we
if you
need
don't
HR.
like sugar daddies, kiss my ass.
Yo, can we call HR?
I am HR.
Yeah, I'm filing a complaint.
Wrap this bitch up. I listen. And that, ladies and gentlemen, has been the Sorta Dead podcast.
Halloween special.
You didn't need to refilm that.
I love it. I loved it.